Welcome back to the Shop Mini RC, everybody. I'm Ken, and today we're looking at some Nexx Racing upgrade products for the RC28. Let's get into it. Here we go, ladies and gents. Some upgrade parts directly from Nexx Racing, and they're for the RC28 from Team Associated, which is awesome to see. It's already got part support coming from other companies. We have a couple different things here. Not a lot, but we're going to check it out. This is the aluminum front strut bar that goes across the front here. We also have some aluminum knuckles and axle shafts, so that's awesome. Some side dampener links. And they're actually a spring setup. So this is a conversion to get rid of the stiff side dampers that you can't adjust your tweak on and replace it with a side spring, which is kind of a traditional, pretty common setup on a lot of these cars. It lets you adjust your side tweak a little bit here and there, and you're not relying strictly on those side links. Now the side links are awesome, so I'm not criticizing those, but if you want a little bit more tunability, this will be the answer as well. And speaking of tunability, look at this new chassis. This is the lightweight chassis from Nexx. Super skeletonized and lightweight. However, you can add weights where you want and as much as you want. We've got a few different kind of chassis weight plates. We've got these right here, these right here, and then the ones that are included. Not totally sure on the difference of these. We will weigh them out so you know exactly how much they weigh. It doesn't say. It's interesting. It just says aluminum chassis weight plates and steel insert kit. It should say steel chassis weight plates. Either way, one's aluminum, one's steel, and then I'm not sure what's included here. I feel like these are also aluminum. So maybe it's black aluminum, non-black or silver aluminum, and then steel. Either way, we'll weigh them out so you can see the differences, see if there is a difference between these two aluminum ones, and we'll get them installed on the car, give her a run, and let you know our thoughts. I definitely dig the Nexx Racing upgrade parts. They always make quality stuff. They make their own chassis. We just lost our clip. Where did that go? It shot across the bench. Let me find it. Let me get this laid out, and we'll be back. All right, we're going to start with this chassis here. Pretty awesome, super lightweight aluminum chassis. You can see it's countersunk so that you can fit the weight plates in there. You don't have to run the weight plates if you want to stay super, super light. If you do want to add weight to a specific area, the front or the rear of the car, you can easily do that with a couple different options here. This chassis is 8.22 grams. Maybe we'll weigh this when we get it off and we'll just see the difference, but that's 8.22 grams. And then it does come with this right here. It comes with these steel, which weigh 1.61, and then these aluminums, which weigh 0.59. So the steel are basically 1 gram heavier than the aluminums, and I believe these are going to be the exact same, 1.6 and 0.59. So yeah, they're basically 1 gram heavier. There are only the two, but the chassis does come with both options. You have both the steel and the aluminum. If you want to go all aluminum, you've got to have to buy one of these. If you want to go all steel, you got to buy one of these. Either way, you can mix and match it how you want, but it does come with these. And again, you don't have to use them all. You can use just the steels in the front if you want to get a bunch more steering. If you want more rear grip, throw the steels in the rear, or just distribute the aluminum throughout wherever you want, and it should work really well. Also comes with these M1.2 by 1.5 tiny little screws. Look at how tiny those are. They're little, they're itty bitty, don't lose them. This chassis obviously each one comes with enough to fill the whole chassis, so you don't have to worry about that. If you buy an extra weight setup, one of these little baggies of weights, you get another full set. So you'll have plenty of those little tiny screws in case you lose any. They do screw in from the bottom, so I would highly recommend that if you're using them, definitely make sure that you Loctite them. I know they're small. I actually want to go through here and let's see how these thread in. I believe they're using a Phillips head. I didn't actually look. They're too tiny. Whoa. I only wanted one, but they all came out. Man, these things are so small, guys. Look at that. It's so tiny. So tiny. Is that a Phillips head? Yeah, little tiny itty bitty. Whoa. There it is. There it is, little tiny itty bitty Phillips head. So if I put one of these plates in, let's do one of these steel ones just to see. Should go in nice and flat. The plates are countersunk, so that's awesome. And then our little itty bitty screw, yeah, tightens right in. Nice and flush. Beautiful. Exactly as you'd expect. That's great. All right, so now we got to rip everything out of this car and get it installed on this chassis. I'm not going to make you watch it. If you need to see how that's done, I would recommend just watching our full build video on this car where we go through every step in detail, building the car, but pretty much pull everything off, put everything on.
A few moments later.
All right, like a crazy guy, I just pulled all the screws out, and so now this whole chassis is falling to pieces. I need to pull out all my electronics though here. Let's see. Should be able to just pry them off this chassis. Ugh. Need a Phillips head here, or a flat head. Help kind of break this free. There we go. And we're gonna have to redo all this. Really, it's just our receiver and ESC that's taped down. And there we go. All right. Still a little dirty in there, but that's okay. We'll use some cow snot here in a minute. I'll show you guys this stuff. It's awesome to clean up some of the parts in here. Hard to get to places. You're able to stick this down in there and it'll get all the gunk and grime and track rubber and tire rubber all out. Anyway, let's go ahead and weigh this guy now that we've got it free. 31.83 versus, oh, we got to pull this off here, versus, oh my gosh, 8.22. So that's a huge difference. It's like a 23.5 gram difference. So if you're looking to really lighten it up overall, this is going to definitely help you be a lot lighter. Again, if you want to keep weight down low, this is obviously going to be better than just this. If you want to lighten it up quite a bit, you know, sometimes the lighter the car, the better. This is going to be the answer as well. But let's say we loaded this guy out. Let's say we did this with all steel. With the steel here, we can get to 17.9, which is a 13.9 gram difference. Still lighter than this, but adjustable weight, right? So we could move the weight and kind of put lighter weight in up front if we want, lighter weight in the back, however you want to do it. But with this chassis, no matter what, you're going to be lighter than the stock chassis. Okay, so definitely a big difference there, even at its heaviest with all the extra weight. Again, 17 grams. Or 13.9 grams lighter, 17.9 grams total. Okay, so just be aware of what you're doing and what your goals are. And I think this chassis is going to have a lot of awesome builds around it, just super lightweight Lexan style builds. All right, let me go ahead and get it installed. We got to get this guy put back in there, and then we're probably going to start with all steel weights just to feel the difference, and then maybe over time we'll tune it. We'll see. I'll let you guys know how that feels maybe at the end of the video. All right, so let me go ahead and show you this cow snot. Freaking awesome stuff. We use it to clean up our desk all the time. I don't want to get the screws over here, but you can just rub it into these holes, and it gets all of the gunk out of spots that you can't normally reach. If it's too sticky, we're kind of sticky right now. I think we're high humid today, but you can kind of let it dry out a little bit if it's too sticky. But generally speaking, it's, look at this, look at all this mess from pulling the car apart. You can just roll this around on there, get into all the little cracks and crevices of our mat. Oh, picked up a screw, that's okay. Pulls right out. Chop that guy down and back to cleaning the desk. But not only can you clean the desk, you can clean the cars. And you can see down in here, look at this, see all this debris, track debris? You can literally just stick your cow snot down in there and pull it all out. Look at that. And it gets it all off, no problem. Now, mind you, this is pretty stuck because of grease, but it's still coming out. And yeah, you can just rub it down in there. It's really nice to get into spots that you can't normally reach, right? That are hard to reach little spots. And you can just, again, front end pieces, just drop it in there, and it gets all the gunk out of there. It's freaking amazing. Basically makes it look like new. Again, we're a little extra sticky today. Probably should let it dry out just a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. Stuff is still doing what it's supposed to. And even on like the ESC, we're not too dirty there, but you can kind of see there's a little bit of dirt and grime and gunk in there. Just stick this in there and look, boom, gone. So good. Cleans it right up. And especially when the car is all together, this looks like a pile of mess right now, but when the car is all put together and you can't get down into the cracks and crevices, this stuff will do it for you. So definitely check out the cow snot. We absolutely love it. I use it all the time. I actually keep a little Ziploc baggie of it. I'll throw like the used stuff in a Ziploc baggie, throw it in my to-go bin. That way I've got it for micro crawlers, clean off the tires with them, stuff like that. No problem. But yeah, you don't want to mix it back in with your original because it'll completely pollute that. So I usually kind of separate it. And again, once it gets used up or it's really black, throw it away. This stuff is only like $6 or something like that. And we've been using it for a while and we barely even knocked a dent in it. Pretty awesome. Anyway, let me get this chassis back together and we'll be back.
More moments later.
Now it does look like they give you exactly the number of screws you need. I kind of wish they gave you at least one extra, maybe two. Like that way if you just get unlucky or they miss one in the packaging or you drop one while you're working on it, you've always got that backup. Obviously they shouldn't cater to your mistakes, but these things are tiny, so it's pretty likely that all it takes is you go like this and then like it falls out of your driver and you literally lose it. It bounces off the mat into a crack, down into the floor, into the carpet, and you'll never find that thing. And then you're kind of bummed out, right? Like it kind of sucks because you have to place an order for these tiny screws. I just wish that when companies made stuff like this, the hardware, just include one or two extra screws or washers or spacers. 2 extra spacers is usually ideal because if you need to use them, you can end up using them to space stuff out. Like I kind of need spacers right here. And if the kit would have came with spacers, I would have used them, but it didn't come with spacers. So I have to go find some and it just becomes a pain in the butt. These little tiny screws, just include an extra 2 of them for us. That would be nice. They are nice and flush though. Man, that's awesome. That feels good. It looks cool too. I mean, we got our whole kit put back on there. Pretty easy actually. I didn't take anything apart other than popping the screws out, pulling off our ESC and receiver and putting the screws back in. Everything stayed together pretty well. So I'm excited there. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this stuff cleaned up. We're gonna get our little front brace on and maybe our knuckles, I don't know, we'll see. And then we need to go run it. I wanna see how this chassis does before I change too much. So we'll probably just throw our little front brace on. Actually, let's weigh it. I wanna go ahead and weigh it real quick. We should have done it before just so we can see the weight distribution before. Hindsight. Let's go ahead and get it weighed just so you can see where it's at now. Again, we're running a Lexan body. Some of you guys might be running hard bodies, but I'm going to weigh it just like this. All right, let's go ahead and get this guy in the 4 corners. Make sure we're nice and settled. Looks like we're 48 in the front, 52 in the back, 51. And then we've got 48, 52 side to side. Looks like we're a little heavier over here, 49, 51. So our ESC is causing it to be a little heavier on this side. And then, man, our cross weights are not very good. It means we've got some tweak in here. I wonder if that's in the chassis or in our links. Interesting. Well, I guess that's where the adjustable side links come in. I wish I would have weighed it before. Man, I should have weighed it before. Would have liked to see that cross weight. Either way, this is where we're at. 48, 52 front rear. And if we want to adjust things with our weights, we can. If we want to get a little bit more front weight bias, we can move weights up forward and, or in this case, remove these heavier weights, put the aluminum ones in the back, and that will help as well. So let's go ahead and do that because that's what the kit comes with. It comes with the 4 steel and the 2 aluminums. So I'm going to go ahead and put the 2 aluminums in the back. That way you've got the same stuff that the chassis comes with if you get just the chassis. And that'll also probably get us a better 50-50 weight distribution. All right, got the aluminums in the back, just like the chassis comes from Nexx. Let's go ahead and drop this back on there. There we go. Now we actually, oh, that was interesting. 4852. It's not too much different. 60.07 in the front. So it was 61.6 and 66.6 in the back. So we basically shaved, essentially that half gram is going to come off both the front and the rear because it's kind of in the middle, but it's the rear most on the chassis that we could get. So it did not enough to change our actual percentage, but it did, shift basically 1 gram of weight forward, because it was a gram each, right? So we took off 2 grams total. It's about halfway. So I'd say about a gram, maybe 1.2 grams forward, 1 gram in the back. Like I said, it was 61.7. Now we're 60.7. So 1 gram in the front. And then, 66 in the back. It was 66.4, 66.5, something like that. Either way, that's how the chassis comes. So we're going to run it that way. Plus, it gets us a little bit more weight towards the front. It is a lot lighter than the previous chassis, though. So this previous chassis was quite heavy for sure. 31 grams. Wild. Anyway, all right. Let's go ahead and, you know what? I think I'm going to run it like this. We'll just run it like this for now.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
All right, guys, so we ran this new chassis. It definitely lightened it up. We're pushing really hard now. So every time I've ran it tonight, it's just pushed real hard. We ended up raising the rear to kind of get a little bit more rake on the front, just because I didn't want to do tires. We'll probably do tires at some point. That'll make more sense. We push so hard. And then sometimes we'll traction roll. It's kind of a weird situation. So we got to adjust our tuning. Again, I'm not the best tuner, but it definitely lightened it up because I can feel the difference. And now we just need to tune the car to make sense with that. Didn't put any of the other stuff on. We'll probably get back to the bench, do that, and then we'll race again next week, and we'll show you where we're at.